What we have left in the sand are etched into the minds of those that come hereafter. Yet what we have left still remains in the sand, which eventually consumes all things, as it has consumed us. For millennia, society has been under the veil of myth, legend, and superstition. This is because humanity has been under both the esoteric and exoteric influences of the watery mutable sign of Pisces. Pisces operates as the point beyond the physical. One could say it is the astral plane where abstract thought originates from, in the form of neural axion connectivity which stimulates the neural transmitters into action. These esoteric aspects of the human mind relating to the external collective are not visible to the physical and active tools of perception. This is why this sign is steeped in such mystery and superstition, and why Pisces operates through symbology and analogies rather than direct activity in the mental plane. So this is why, for millennia, the foundations of religion and philosophical teachings have described themselves through symbolism and sacred overt and covert rituals, as the abstract nature of the spiritual lessons lay in wait for the discerning and searching minds to pick up on. The Abrahamic religious traditions, such as Christianity, are a fine example of this, as many of the teachings found within the religion itself teach through the influences of Pisces, because after all, Jesus was a fisherman. These hallmark traits have been imprinted influences on the development of our society for millennia, and whilst there has been much growth, there has also been much fear associated with these symbols and teachings, which signifies the illusion and depth cast out from Pisces. Many taking these teachings at face value and very seldomly reading beyond the pages into their esoteric and spiritual meanings. So of course, this has also led to those who do understand the meaning behind the surface symbology to use these symbols as a means of exerted external control rather than the intended purpose of self-control. This is where for centuries the persecution of ideas, philosophical views and people have played out, influencing one aspect at the detriment of another, putting one group above whilst the other group has been forced into a serving role. Not forgetting to mention that those who functioned outside of these dogmatic cliques were disposed of and labelled as heretics and heathens, despite the group doing the judging, carrying out these esoteric traditions themselves, sometimes right in front of the people they persecuted for practicing the same. So in astrology, the house that Pisces rules over is the 12th house, and is also perhaps the hardest house to understand, as it operates its causes and effects behind an impenetrable veil of secrecy. This is the house that can point us to our past lives and karmas which we carry over. But it is also there behind the origins and culmination of desires that we incarnate into during our lifetime. However, despite the very heavy nature of the topics of the 12th house and Pisces, this sign and house function best when tapping into the reservoirs of the natural collective, through means of mediumship and celebration of the full scope of our existence and unity with nature itself. Zoology, which is the worship of animals through totems, is an art which derived from the influences of the 12th house and Pisces, as the human complex is able to merge with the more primal base functions of our world, discovering the divine, repetitive, serpentary nature of being through the channels provided by the tropical ruler of the 12th house, Neptune. So in astrology, an astrological year is around 2,000 years. These years fall under the influence of one of the astrological signs, and as a collective, we have recently moved out of Pisces into the Aquarian Age. Now, according to Theosophists, this switchover is coupled with turmoil and disruptions, as the fading age struggles to hold on. The reason for this and the crisis and upheavals of the switchover is to ready the collective consciousness for a new line of influence. So in this case, it is the effects and influences of Aquarius, which is ruled by the purifying sacred planet of Saturn and the shock effects of the esoteric ruler Uranus. So because of the influences of these planets, the Maya or illusion cast out from Pisces and the 12th house struggle to compete against the heavy metal field of Saturn's influence through this fixed air sign. Suddenly, age-old superstitions are being ripped apart by Uranus and redefined through the mind, given this sign deals with the third ray of esoteric active intelligence. So because Saturn rules over lead, the Maya or illusion itself cannot penetrate this base metal and must find structure. This is why many esoteric aspects and sciences are making their resurgence, and why so many social hierarchies and the old trusted institutions are crumbling, as these don't serve the rational restrictions of Saturn. Another is that of women, redefining their place in society according to their own terms. Interestingly enough, the main premise of the primordial tradition stemmed from a construct which is feminine in nature, so expect a lot of new insightful ideas now that they have found their voice again. So while Saturn doesn't like the overly powerful and tidal symbology of Pisces, Saturn doesn't completely rid us of it, as the mental field itself relies on symbology such as writing to bring forth ideas. However, it is the understanding of these ideas which are different from those within Pisces. Saturn makes us bring the floaty substance of abstract reasoning and etch it into concrete form, for literal use, as Saturn dispenses with the unnecessary waste that Maya can bring with it, questioning the patterns, rather than accepting it. So, the Age of Aquarius is an age of reason, an age of bringing the hidden treasures of spiritualism, science, and the esoteric links between the two out of the hidden depths of Pisces, with the objective of transmuting fear and superstition into wisdom and understanding. It is the humanitarian sign of cosmic service, where our world and its conflicts, current and pending disasters are dealt with together for the advancement of the collective. The Age of Aquarius is here, so you can run, but one thing you cannot do is hide, because hiding in essence is Maya, and Maya is illusion. And one thing Saturn doesn't like is illusion.
Life's just a moving really fast. Better stay on top of life, will kick you in the